Hi there, this is Justin Krane, certified financial planner professional and founder of Krane Financial Solutions. Welcome to Money You Got This. So how can you really live? How? By uniting your business money, your personal money with your life and your business. Word up.
Krane Financial is an SEC-registered investment advisor. However, such registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training, and no inference to the contrary should be made. A copy of our current written disclosure statement discussing our advisory services and fees is available upon request. Information contained herein is for informational and illustrative purposes only, and general in nature. It should not be considered specific financial planning or investment advice, or a recommendation to buy or sell any type of securities or other investment products.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Money You Got This. This show is brought to you by Krane Financial Solutions. I'm Justin Krane. I'm a certified financial planner professional. We offer investment management services and financial planning for entrepreneurs. I'm also the author of the book, Money You Got This. I wrote this morning before the show, all 8,000 pages. It's amazing. You got to check it out. I'm psyched you're listening to the show. I want to give you this free report, 3 things multimillionaires do to grow their wealth. Just go to coolmoneyshow.com to grab it. That's coolmoneyshow.com to grab it. Thanks. All right. Today's guest is Ashkaan Hassan. That sounds like a cologne or something. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Ashkaan is an attorney. He's a tech guru. He's a moral philosopher. The dude is smart. That's just pretty much the story. Before I go on to like the official bio, Ashkaan, welcome to Money You Got This.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. All right. So what does Ashkaan do? He solves complex business problems. You know, you might think, oh, label, business consultant. Wrong. IT, cybersecurity, mindset, processes, systems. His main business is called WeSolve, but it's not just like an outsourced IT provider. He creates systems and processes to allow business owners to feel like they're more in control with their business. I've just dabbled a little bit with him, and I can tell you that my pickleball game is much better because pickleball has nothing to do with what he really does, but I'm just trying to keep everyone attentive to what's going on. All right. So he's in cybersecurity. He's a lawyer. He does real estate. He reads. He writes. He's got a pretty cool upbringing. So let's get into it. Ashkaan, you ready?
No.
Okay, good. All right. So you studied business law, metaphysics, like all these cool things. Let's just talk about like you as a kid, because your childhood was hard, and I'm curious what you learned from it. So your parents got divorced. Your mother raised you. She had lots of different jobs. She tried to get you through private school, which she did. But I got to believe just as a kid, that wasn't easy. So talk to us a little bit about what you learned about yourself in your childhood.
I think the hardest part of growing up really poor is not eating. That's probably the thing that stands out to me the most. And what I learned is that people are insanely kind. I'm one of the luckiest people probably on the planet, because at every moment when something really bad happened or I was in a really tough spot, someone came and saved me. There was always someone there. The lunch lady at school giving me, double meals. My counselors kind of pointing me in the right direction. My sisters, who are amazing, from a different set of parents, came and really helped me so many times whenever things were really tough for me and my mom. So people are incredible.
That's just amazing. Just talking about food and eating and nourishment and not having enough. I mean, that's got to still be with you today, even though you're running a successful firm. I mean, you must think about that.
I do. My friends like to say that I'm in the clean plate club, because I can't help but completely devour every single meal, even today, many, many years after that trauma.
Wow. Yeah, it's like trauma is interesting because does it ever really leave you? It's with you, but you can work through it, but it doesn't leave you, right?
No. But, I have to say, it drives me. It's still what keeps me wanting to get to the next level, the next circle of safety. Safety and security has been big for me my entire life. And although I'd argue I'm pretty darn safe today, I still yearn and think about that next level.
Yeah, let's talk about this, because this is the show for entrepreneurs to listen. and learn from other entrepreneurs. So we all want to get to that next level. But that's so vague. Like, what does that really mean? So I'm curious, just for you, safety, security, next level. If you got there, what would be happening for you? What's going on?
That's been the big question that my several therapists and my fiance have always asked me, and I don't really have a good answer. In my fantasy, everything, I'm done. Everything is great. You know, it's that fantasy ending. We're sitting on the beach with a Mai Tai, enjoying ourselves.
Yeah,
I can't imagine myself doing that. I'm too restless. I can't. I
yeah,
imagine I go hang out on the beach for a few days, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm ready to like start a new business or do something crazy.
yeah. That's so cool because I think. So how old are you?
I'm 38.
Yeah, so I'm 51. So I've got 13 years, the equivalent of one bar mitzvah on you, right? So, so, uh, like it's really the journey and the mindset of understanding that you're probably farther along than you think you are, and being kind to yourself, knowing that it's a journey, you're on a good path, and maybe you're already there. You don't know it. It's kind of, have you ever read the book The Alchemist?
Oh my God, I just read it this year.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually read it on a vacation where I was traveling to Greece. So I was like, "Oh, I'm going somewhere far and cool." But what I realized is that Greece is kind of, that feeling of Greece has been in me, even though I didn't have to go to Mykonos to get it. I could still feel it, inside. So I want to go all the way to the other end of what you do, which is I mean, you have a lot of businesses, but I want to focus just for a minute on your cybersecurity and tech and IT. So a lot of business owners that want that sense of feeling of being done, they want to like grow and know that they're done. They have to somehow manage these systems, right? They have to somehow figure it out. And I don't know if it's master it, but get better at it. So when you're advising your clients, I got to believe that you're coming from a place of helping them and making them feel like they can improve on that so that they can have their own path of growth. Talk to us a little bit about that.
There are a few different aspects to this. One, what are the incentive structures? So for example, with my firm, I made a flat rate sort of model so that my firm is incented for our clients to not have any problems. Like if they don't reach out to us, we end up making more money. And
Mm-hmm.
that also drives our mission, which is to help people improve their relationship with technology.
Mm-hmm.
And to that end, we do something a little bit different than most IT companies. Education is probably the number one thing in our firm. So we want to educate our clients and show them and get them to really understand how their technology works, just at least one more level than where they are, so that they can better manage it, leverage it, delegate the different aspects of
Yeah.
it. When we set up systems, we make sure that our main stakeholders actually it makes their life easier, not harder. So that's
Yeah.
the whole point.
Okay. So you got your first computer in, I don't know what it's was it sixth grade or is it younger?
It was gosh, I think I was 6, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
you were 6. Okay. So you were 6. And then in 6th grade, you completed math and science up to 8th grade. So you have this knack for learning things that like a lot of people like don't want to learn and do because it's way too overwhelming and all of that. And here you are mastering this IT and consulting and systems, and you're now teaching your clients. How do you get someone to learn this thing when it's not what really they want to do? You have this knack from such a young age to do it and accomplish it. But how do you work with people that like freak out about tech, but they know that they have to consume it and do it? Like, what if people like just want to avoid it? Like, how do you do that?
I think it's all about excitement. When I was a kid, being poor, you have like nothing to do. You have nowhere to go. You're kind of stuck. It's a really challenging place to be. And you start to look around at the resources around you and you start to find excitement in the things that are around you. Again, insanely lucky, someone donated a computer to us. And
Mm,
that was the thing that was like, oh my God, this box has infinite potential. So that's sort of where my obsession came from. And
mhm.
over the years, I could find what made me so excited about it. I could find that I could get other people to get excited too. And
Well, how do
that's
you do that? How do you get people to get excited about something that they're not excited about?
well, I show them. So I think a lot of the times that people are kind of against technology or just have a poor relationship with it, it's because they
Yeah,
don't really understand it and they don't understand
yeah,
how it could improve their life. So I start there. I start with like the single person, like forget about the business. Let's talk about how this is actually going to make your day better every single day.
mm,
And you master
mhm.
these couple of things, you're suddenly going to have an improved experience working with your computer. From there, we can talk about your business. We can talk about how we can do this for everyone else. And then they get really
Yeah.
excited. I don't
Okay,
have
so
one not
let's.
excited client.
Oh no, I love it. Like this, the stuff that we've done, just little simple things that you've taught me or shown me, it gets me really excited. Um, I want to state the obvious, but I'm just curious your opinion on this. So when you're working with clients in technology and cybersecurity and IT, you have people that know what they don't know, and then you have people that don't even know what they don't even know. Most people, I got to believe, don't even know what they don't know. So, I mean, how many clients do you work with and business owner are like, oh yeah, we know that, we just don't know how to do that. Oh, we know that, but like, insane. Most people I got no idea what they could do,
Yeah,
right? And how much more profitable and efficient that they could be.
that's
So, how do
right.
you deliver that to people?
Um, yeah, it's a slow rollout of education and excitement. It's really those two things. Our team is really fired up about like everything technology. We get excited when like a new an update comes out.
Yeah,
We talk about it internally. It's a very exciting day. Um, we work with our clients to make sure that they understand each of these things that come out, each of these new features, each of these new upgrades. This is what it's going to do for your life. And we get that enrollment just from talking about it.
got it.
It's so simple.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit about your business model, right? So, where you are today is you have this flat rate pricing and you have a team that supports you, right? Do you interact with every client that you have, or do you have other people on your team interact and be the lead as well?
My technical director and our client success director are really the main two leads for our clients, but I do get
Hmm.
involved. I can't help myself. When there's a really big, interesting project and my team lead's going to take it, I'll be like, hey, can I do that with
Yeah,
you? That looks
yeah,
fun.
nice, nice. So tell us a little bit about your team now. How many people do you have, and all that?
Yeah, we're at 6 people. And we leverage so much technology that with 6 people, we're able to support a heck of a lot of users. And it's uncommon for our industry.
Wow. A couple of people are chiming in from the peanut gallery, like around my office. Everyone says that you're doing really well on the podcast and you're killing it and just keep doing your thing. Okay, now back to the show. So you got 6 people. Did you just start out like on your own, just you and working with like 5 clients?
No, actually, I started out as an attorney. I finished law school, passed the bar, came back home, was kind of very eager to do my own thing. I think I fall into that category of entrepreneurs who are not employable. So
Yeah.
I just went out there, started prospecting for legal clients, and I started getting cases and I started working. And I found that my opposing counsel often didn't understand their own technology, would make huge mistakes that I could then take advantage of as being on the other side.
Yep.
And I just thought to myself, I think I could, first of all, I'm more interested in technology. Second, I think I can make a bigger impact in technology than I can in law. And
Hmm.
so I started to pivot. Initially, I kind of looked up different IT companies to see what they were talking about and just understanding how are they selling their services. And I ran into one called Rent a Geek, and it was run by this guy named Ben, a really nice guy. I looked at his website. It just it talked about being transparent and honest and open. And that was like the only IT company that I saw talking about that kind of stuff. And I thought, that is really cool. I got to get to know this guy. So I reached out to him, and within a few years, we became 50-50 partners. And we started growing the business together, and we had a wonderful partnership. He wanted to go in a very different direction, just different. I mean, technology is such a huge field. There's a million places to go. And so, I bought him out, and today we're very, very close friends.
Amazing. How did you buy him out? Did you write a check? Did you borrow money? Did you cash flow it or what?
Cash flow. He was so generous. He was like, why don't we do this? We'll come up with like a 5-year plan. You can pay me out X, each year, and just pay me out of the profits of the business. Super easy.
Got it. So was the 5-year plan, did you put a valuation on the business and just say, pay me 1/5 a year?
That's exactly what we did. Yes. Yep.
And then was it what metric was it based on? Sales, profits, or what?
So in our industry, we do a multiple of EBITDA.
Okay.
And yeah, so we just, it was honestly some very rough back of the napkin sort of numbers. Again, we're friends. This was way easier than it should have been.
And then when was this? Like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or like
no,
2 years?
This was only 3 years ago. So
we're 3 years
actually
ago.
still doing it now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you put the value of the business, assign one value and just you paid him that regardless of the growth of the business?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because there are people listening that have to deal with this. So I'm just curious. I want them to hear how you're doing it. One valuation, a multiple of EBITDA, 1/5 a year. The money comes out of the profits of the business. Got it. Okay, cool. So, when you did this, how many employees did you have?
We had 4.
4. Okay, so he had 4, you joined him and he had 4, or you joined him and then you hired 4, or something in the middle?
When I met him, it was a one-man shop. So we teamed up. And so it's just the two of us for a few years. And we got one more and one more and one more. And by the time we closed our deal, we had 4. And now I've got a couple more.
Okay, but let's talk about, so how did you pay for your employees over time? Did you hire one employee as you brought in 3 clients or 5 or whatever? How did you do that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the way that we figured out when to hire, it was sort of, we didn't use a lot of financial analyses to figure this out. We were kind of emotionally sensing how stressed and busy are we, and then that's a checkbox 1, and checkbox 2. Can we afford to hire an entry level person that we could train? And so that was our methodology for actually a few years. And it wasn't until gosh, I think I started EO Accelerator that I really started to dig into the finances and understand, oh, this is how I can tell whether or not I can hire another employee, not just gauging my own stress.
Sure. So how was it, and how is it even today, bringing on and training employees? It's a cost to that, and energy and time, while you're running a business. How do you manage the growth of the business and hiring people and making sure that it's a good hire? And then, because when you bring in someone and you time and money and energy and it stinks, you got to let them go, and you're like, oh, thanks for nothing. I just lost 8 months out of blah blah blah.
Yeah. Did I mention I'm the luckiest person alive? I've had a couple lottery jackpot hires in our time. And 2 of those hires are just, they're smarter than me, they're faster than me, they're better than me, they think about more things. And so I've escalated them to our leadership team. So the 3 of us actually take the brunt of everything. And we work together as a single kind of unit.
Okay.
So hiring people is really challenging, but we do it together.
Well, I have to believe that you have some sort of process, or maybe it's just your vibe that attracts good people.
I'm gonna say luck.
Okay. Is your comp structure for the other 2 base and bonus? Do you have milestones that unlock bonuses? How do you manage the cash flow of them and all of that? Like high level. You don't have to give us like the real detail, but high level.
Yeah, historically, we like to just kind of do holiday bonuses every year, and everyone gets paid really well. We've, strong salaries, definitely very strong for our industry. However, I am toying with some kind of an EBITDA split, and I hope to deploy that next year.
Got it. Interesting. Cool. All right, let's jump to you going to Australia to help the producers of Thor, Marvel, like shoot the movie. Like, what is that? Can you just
Honestly,
talk about that?
that was a crazy story. I remember sitting with my partner Ben, and we were just, talking about life and money and just sort of everything. Again, we're very close, and I said something like, "Gosh darn it, I wish that I could just go and I don't know, just move to Australia for 6 months and just like, have fun." And like that's the kind of lifestyle I want. And it's unfair that I have to work so hard, and I'm going to have a really long road struggling and trying to make money until I'm safe. And this was a kind of a story I told myself when I was younger, and I'm not kidding. We were both floored. 1 month later, one of our clients who works with Sony, and we've done some like video game work before. We've done some kind of fun stuff. She
Yeah.
called us and was like, "Hey, we have this really big need. We need somebody to build out the IT infrastructure on a production. And here's the bad news. It's in Australia, and it's roughly going to be 6 months."
Oh my God.
We were, and then of course, there was this moment where, Ben was like, but I want to go. And I was like, "You can't go. I already said it. This happened because I said it." And so, yeah, I ended up going, and it was a dream. It was an unbelievable dream. It was so fun. I got to work at a really, really high level. I built out Marvel's IT infrastructure for their productions that they are still using today. And we worked on a bunch of other movies with them. It was
That's
super
amazing.
fun. Yeah.
Um, you're also like a philosopher, right?
I like to call myself a moral philosopher.
Yeah. So I don't know. I read some of the things like, I'm just going to throw out bite-sized nuggets and you take it wherever you want. The search for knowledge, suffering, growth, just that. Like I've read some of your stuff. Like how do you bring that into work and life and what role does money play in that?
I think our experiences really shape our quality of life. I'm actually kind of obsessed with this concept of quality of life. I think about it a
Mm,
lot. I want more good days than bad days. This is definitely a topic that I talk about with, my friends, my partner, everyone. And philosophy is this sort of place, this sandbox playground where we can theorize how can we improve things. It's analogous to computer systems, because in a computer system, we make these kind of safe environments where we can throw viruses and whatever, and kind of do these analyses to figure out how do we improve our systems, how do we improve the service that we give to our clients. Philosophy is sort of the same thing, but for our lives.
mhm.
And so I actually got really into it in college. It's a classic story. You take the philosophy 101 class, my mind is blown. I want to know more. And before I know it, I have a minor in metaphysics, which is just the study of reality. And then I started kind of getting into epistemology, which is the study of truth.
Yeah.
It's such a
Wait, I
fun.
have to interrupt you. Are we really shooting a podcast right now? Is this real?
I think it is,
Okay. All right.
and
Keep going.
I have
Sorry.
some good evidence for it.
Okay. I mean, that's so cool that so in my business, we talk about return on life, not just return on investment, but ROL, return on life. It's a big term that I use. And it's interesting how it intersects with your theory of quality of life. But keep going. I mean, like, how do you maintain it doing IT services and cybersecurity? How do you maintain this, I can't even epistemology, whatever it's called, How do you how do you how do you maintain that and sustain it day to day?
A lot of fields are really related. Like philosophy and psychology are actually way more related than
Sure,
most people think. And in
sure.
psychology, you know, one of the things that counselors do is that they bring awareness to thoughts, feelings, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Uh, Talking about morality, talking about epistemology, our truths, our realities, the things that we sort of understand, brings that awareness within, you know, like a circle of friends. There are, as you know, crazy things happening in the world right now, upsetting things, and it's really hard to tell what's true, what's not true, and having
Mhm.
these conversations help create frameworks for how we can figure things out together.
Mm, it's amazing. What do you think about stoicism?
It's very interesting. Uh, you know, going back to that concept of awareness, because that's stoicism is very about being aware of yourself
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
kind of being aware of how your way of being. And I love that part about it. I love the awareness. Um, it's not for me, but I do really like it and think, you know, that's great that people are thinking about these sorts of things because it opens the door for so many other really fun things too.
Cool. I read Ryan Holiday, and he's a big Stoic, so that's why I asked. Let's wrap up and just talk a little bit about money overall. Um, what are some of the best investments that you've made in your business from a financial standpoint?
I think about this a lot because it's not easy to gauge if you're not naturally a finance person, which I am not.
Hmm.
Um, I have found that my favorite investments emotionally are the ones I've made in myself. So educating myself, getting certificates, getting licensed. I used to be a license holic. I got my attorney's license. I got a real estate salesperson's license, then a broker's license, then a mortgage broker's license. Then I don't know. I've got a bunch of licenses, and I keep finding a lot of value in just learning and growing in that way. So I often will siphon off a portion of my profits just to grow myself. It's sort of selfishly, but I think that comes back because then I'm able to give better service to my clients, do more.
Hmm.
Um, those are the kinds of investments that I found to be the best.
Got it. And did you buy a house? Do you own a house? I think you do, right?
I do. I'm in it now. I'm in my first house and I love it.
Wow. I mean, that must be just flat out amazing for you.
I
Growing up without money and looking for food and having people help you, your sisters, your mom, just as a kid, and you bought a house. Not easy to buy a house in Southern California.
Oh my
What an
gosh.
accomplishment.
Thank you very much. I cannot state enough how good I feel about it and how important it was for me. I think it was literally the most important thing to me was just getting out of being a renter. That concept was so scary to me because I felt that, you know, being a renter means that you are going to be in the same place forever, and you miss the train, and the train is moving. Appreciation's happening for everyone. These concepts, you know, swirled in my mind for so many years. And yeah, early, oh gosh, it's been a year. Early last year, I bought a wonderful house with a nice big pool and all kinds of, you know, fun. And I'm just so happy. And we have a couple dogs, and my fiance and I live here, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah. So for those of you not actually seeing this and just listening, so Ashkan has his background is blurred, and there's something moving in the background for the entire show. And I'm like, what is that? Now that you mentioned dogs, is your dog right behind you?
You know, the funny thing is that's actually not
What
not my
is that?
dog right there. I have this beautiful, beautiful magnolia tree right outside my
Okay,
window, and it's
got
swaying
it.
in the wind.
Okay,
Um,
got it. All right. Yeah. Um, okay, I just want to go back to the house for a second. The escrow closes, you get the keys, you like walk into the house, you look at your wife. What's your feeling? What's going on?
Absolute disbelief. There's no way this is real. There's no way this happened. There's a trick. Something's going to happen. Someone's
Yeah,
going to take this away from me.
yeah. By the way, I said wife. You're not married yet, right?
Almost. We're
Yeah.
getting married on May the 4th be with us.
Oh my God, I love that. What an amazing feeling. Okay, so where can people go to learn more about you and your company, WeSolve?
Honestly, our two websites are really good. I have a personal website where I like to talk about philosophy and a few of the things I'm into. And maybe we can share the links. And my company website for We Solve Problems is pretty comprehensive. Will give you a good sense of us, and I'm always happy to talk to people too.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. You did so well. Look at you. You did it, my man. You did it. Great work.
Thank you so much. This was really fun and scary.
Great job. All right, everybody, go to the links in the show. Ashkaan is amazing. I've done some work with him. He's got such good energy. Please reach out to him. He's awesome. Thanks again. Have a question? Want to get in touch with us? Need some help and advice with your finances? Just go to coolmoneyshow.com and reach out to us. That's coolmoneyshow.com.
Krane Financial Solutions is an SEC-registered investment advisor. However, such registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training, and no inference to the contrary should be made. A copy of our current written disclosure statement discussing our advisory services and fees is available upon request. Information contained herein is for informational and illustrative purposes only and general in nature. It should not be considered specific financial planning or investment advice, or a recommendation to buy or sell any type of securities or other investment products. No investment decision should be made based solely on any information provided herein. We do not provide legal, accounting, or tax services. We recommend that all investors seek out the services of competent professionals in any of the aforementioned areas. Certain information provided has been obtained from third-party sources that we believe reliable. However, it's not been independently verified and is not guaranteed.